Hi, this is Paul, Trade Passer. I'm going to review my spoilers review of Justice League. I just saw it today. I saw it two times. Saw it in IMAX and saw it in 3D. I was looking forward to this movie. I'd say one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I was looking forward to this. Big fan of DCU. I love Man of Steel, like BVS. I love Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad, not so much. But this movie I was looking forward to. All the heroes coming together. These are my childhood heroes growing up, so I was so looking forward to this movie. The basic plot of this movie is Batman and and Wonder Woman have to basically recruit various Justice League members to come together to battle Steppenwolf, who's trying to collect these three motor boxes because he wants to take over the Earth. Okay, that's the basic plot of this movie. Now, like I was saying in my spoiler-free review, the plot of this movie felt rushed. Okay, and again, I believe this is due to the executives, specifically I think the president, because I think we read about this earlier, that he said that the movie had to be 2 hours. Okay, and I think that hurt the movie in terms because it felt rushed, like they kept bouncing from point to point to point, and I think that hurt the movie in terms of that. I mean, I still liked it. What I liked the most about it was the character interactions between the various league members. That to me is one of the best things about this movie. It was the character interactions and stuff. I like that Wonder Woman recruited Cyborg, and she was always there giving him like this pep talk and boosting his morale. Because again, Ray Fisher I thought did a great job as Cyborg, and you could tell what he was going through. The fact that he was wearing the hoodie and stuff, he was adjusting to this new experience, and I think he had a great speech that he gave to his father, where basically he was telling his father how he has his language in his head that he can't understand. He wakes up every day with a new thing that he can do, and it was just a great point to actually, so you can see that interaction about how Cyborg really feels. I thought that was great, and then he had this great talk with Wonder Woman on the street, and I love that interaction when where Wonder Woman was trying to look up information on him, and he basically hacked the computer, the back computer, and agreed to meet her, and I thought that was great. And again, I liked Batman talking with Aquaman, recruiting Aquaman. I loved their interaction as well. And also, he was sort of a mentor to Barry Allen, Ezra Miller, the Flash. I liked that as well. I thought that was one of the really good things in this movie. But again, the plot just felt a little rushed. Okay, because it felt like that he cut a lot of parts. A lot of parts that you see in these trailers, you don't see in the movie. And again, I blame it on the president of Warner Brothers, who basically said the movie had to be 2 hours. I think he again cut out a lot from this movie, and that's why the plot felt rushed. Okay, I still enjoyed it, but it felt rushed. Okay, the resurrection of Superman. That's another thing I want to talk about. That's one of the better parts of the movie. And again, this is character interaction. I like Batman came up with the idea of, of resurrecting Superman, especially after that first clash they had with Steppenwolf. He decides, that we can use that motor box to resurrect Superman. And of course, the various league members are against this. They don't want to do this. Let Superman stay dead, and they actually feel that Batman's doing this because of his guilt. And this again, some great character interactions, specifically between Wonder Woman and Batman at that moment, where he actually brings up Steve Trevor, and she gives him a shove. I love that was some just great character interaction, and they actually go about doing it, resurrecting Superman. That's how they resurrect Superman. They actually, dig him up. There's a great scene between Barry and Barry and Victor, Cyborg and Flash, where they actually dig him up, and they dig him up his grave, and they actually bring him back and bring him to the Superman Memorial and to the ship, and they supercharge him with the motor box, and he gets resurrected. But of course, he's a little confused. So basically, you have the League versus the resurrected Superman, which was great, one of the great good parts of this movie. Superman versus the League. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. You don't get the black suit, which is I'm kind of bummed about that. You didn't get that, but the scene itself more than made up for it. Okay, because you basically have Aquaman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and Cyborg taking on Superman, basically, because he's a little confused at first, and because miscommunication, they start fighting, and there's some great fight scenes between Wonder Woman and Superman, Aquaman, Superman, Cyborg and Superman. There's a great that scene was this scene is probably one of my favorite scenes at all time, where basically Superman has all three of them. He has Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, and then the Flash, tries to take off and run around him, and then you see they show it in slow motion. It looks so beautiful that Superman, Flash is running by him, and he thinks he's going to sneak up behind Superman. But Superman, while he's holding all three members, he turns around and he actually looks at the Flash, and the Flash can't believe that he actually can see how fast he's running, and he throws the members off and starts swinging at the Flash. That moment was so awesome. It's just too awesome for words. That's one of my favorite parts. And then of course Batman shows up, and then of course Superman, he says, "Oh yeah, I remember you," and he grabs Batman, of course, by the neck and flies him up, and basically tells Batman, "Listen, I remember you." Oh, and he said, I think he said what he said specifically is, "You want me dead? You want me dead? Or you want me to live?" And he said, "Well, the world." Batman told him basically the world needs Superman. And he goes, "Well, the world don't need you." And then of course, Batman, he tosses Batman, and he's getting ready to put some work in on Batman. When actually, Batman tells Alfred, "Bring in the big gun," and the big gun happens to be Lois Lane. And of course, she, stops Superman from raging out, and they take off and go back to Kansas. I thought that was one of the great moments in this movie. I really enjoyed that. That interaction was absolutely fantastic. So again, Superman wasn't in this. I thought for a long time that maybe they'd save him for the end, which I thank God they didn't. So basically, he was in for the second part on the movie on, I think. So, but they always talked about him, so I think that was good, and I'm glad that Henry Cavill wasn't just in the last 5 minutes of the movie. And when he did come back, like I said, he took off with Lois Lane back to the farm, and you saw that little brief interaction. And then you saw the reunion with his mother, which was great. I love that as well. And then of course, there's a great moment where Lois tells him, we have to, I'm glad you're alive, but we have to send you back, end of the world. You have to go back, and then Superman did show up when they had the final fight at the end. He did show up again for that, and he was impressive, And again, the character interactions really made this movie for me. Again, it just felt rushed because that time limit. I think if they didn't do that, if they was so panic about again the reaction to Batman v Superman, and let this movie be 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 50 minutes, or even 3 hours, I think it would have flowed. The plot would have flowed a lot better. Okay, and again, I blame that on the president. He he could have commit all this money. I realize Zack Snyder had that family issue and stuff, but still, I don't think that took away. I think they edited the movie because they wanted it to get under 2 hours, and again, which I think to me hurt the plot, made the plot feel too rushed. Okay, and I blame the president. I guess he has to look out for the bottom line, but I think it hurt the movie in the long run. I still enjoyed it a lot. Again, those character interactions, the set pieces, I really enjoyed, but it just felt rushed because that time limit. And I think that's a big. I think that's a big deal. And I think that's what a lot of critics are really are hammering on, the fact that it felt rushed because that 2 hour time limit, that you got to get all this stuff in within 2 hours. Excuse me. And that's why, like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10 in my spoiler review. I'm going to give it an 8. I'll stick with that 8 because I love the character interactions between the various characters and the power sets and Superman fighting with the League. I love that. And I thought that was great. And I love the moments, again, between Batman and Wonder Woman, between Cyborg and Wonder Woman, between Flash and Batman, and Aquaman and Batman. Those character interactions, to me, made the movie. It brought the score for me up. Okay, because I wanted this movie to be a 9, even a 10, but again, the plot just felt rushed because of that edits. They cut out a lot of the stuff you see in the trailers you don't see in the movie. Okay, and I blame them for editing and all that stuff out. And hopefully, maybe when this movie comes on video, they'll have a director's cut, which will be 3 hours, so you can get. And I think the movie will flow better. And I think they have to understand that going forward. If you're gonna make these movies, commit to it. Don't hamstring yourself by giving yourself saying that the movie has to be 2 hours. I think that's ludicrous. You have these larger than life characters. You want to see them naturally flow and interact. Okay, and by hamstringing them with the time, and so all that footage that Zack Snyder shot had to be cut out again. I still don't understand the stupid logic. To me, that's dumb logic. To me, you should have let the movie be what it is. I understand you have all this money invested in it, but you should let the movie flow the way it's supposed to. The movie would have flowed more naturally if you'd have gave it the time and not edit out all the parts that people want to see. That's why I can't wait for it. Hopefully they'll have a director's cut of this movie, and again, and then they're gonna kick. I think they're gonna kick themselves in the head again when they see that. Listen, if we'd have just released a director's cut of this movie, okay, it would have flowed a lot better, and you just could have got that much more enjoyment out of it. And speaking of performances, I loved Henry Cavill too as Superman. Like I said, he smiled a lot more in this movie, of course, which is great. And again, his resurrection, and when that scene of him fighting the League was absolutely fantastic. See, he wasn't. I know people say, "Well, why was he fighting the League?" I mean, he was fighting alongside Wonder Woman and Batman at the end of Batman v Superman. But I think he was a little confused when he woke up. Exactly, when he got resurrected, he was a little confused. That's why it took Lois coming to get him to snap out of it. Okay. That's why smartly Batman, when he was talking to Alfred, said, "We need the big guns. Make sure we have the big gun." He was talking about Lois because he knew Lois would be the key. Okay, and again, another thing which I didn't like. I mean, you built all this Darkseid thing up in BVS. You built all that up, but basically no mention of Darkseid at all in this movie. Okay, I think that was a mistake. I mean, especially since you built all this up with him. Okay, even if you didn't show him, you could at least have Steppenwolf, the character, at least mention why he's doing this. But again, I think they cut out a lot of parts to this movie. That's why I'm waiting to see a director's cut to see all the stuff they cut out. Which to me, again, don't do things half-assed. To me, that's the thing I can't stand. I like these movies and I want DCC to succeed, but don't do things half-assed. Okay, if you had all those hints in BVS, and you bring in Steppenwolf for this movie, and then you cut out all the Darkseid references at all. Even if you don't have Darkseid be the next villain in the next movie, the next Justice League movie, at least you got all these perfect opportunity to mention it. Okay, it just, to me, that seems just short-sighted. Okay, but anyway, as far as Steppenwolf is concerned, I thought he looked great. I know people were complaining and saying he's a weak villain. He had a purpose. As far as I'm concerned, he had a purpose. Okay, he wanted to gather the motor box. He even plainly stated, I think, a couple of times that he wanted to bring the motor boxes together so he could take over. And I forgot exactly the way he said it, which is why I got to see this movie again. But the way he was just, you could tell he was like, he's basically like in love with these motor boxes that he wanted to. I forgot the phrase that he did. He said when he wanted to get those motor boxes together, and he had some interaction with Cyborg, when he's basically saying that she changed you. He was like referring to the motor boxes as she. It was just, I liked it. I like what Syrian Hands did with Steppenwolf. Okay, I liked it, and I liked when Superman joined the League at the end and they were beating the crap out of Steppenwolf, and Superman was just using his powers. He got to use his cool breath, his heat vision. He threw some big punches. Again, I liked what I see. I just felt too rushed, and I blame that runtime on it. I blame the runtime on it, and I blame the executives for they kind of shoot themselves in the foot by doing that. You cut off the enjoyment by making it. I still enjoy the movie a lot, and I'm definitely going to see it again, probably 2 more times at least. But you got to learn to, if you're going to make these movies, commit to them. Okay, don't hamstring yourself. Okay, that's just my opinion about that. And as far as the after credits scenes are concerned, another thing I want to mention. Speaking of CGI, there's only 2 bad spots for Superman that I noticed. Okay, in that opening scene there's an opening scene in the beginning of the movie where a kid is interviewing Superman with, obviously with an iPhone, and he's talking to Superman. He asks him various questions. You can tell that they filmed that scene when he had the mustache, so they had to CGI his mustache out. So you can tell. So you know how some people, when they get their mustache cut off, it looks funny when, especially like I got a mustache, and if I was to cut my mustache off, especially if you used to seeing me with a mustache, it would look really funny, and that's how it looked like, like Henry Cavill. It looked really funny. It looked like he had almost false teeth. What it was, obviously wasn't false teeth. It's that they had to, cover up that mustache, with white space. So that's why it looked like his lower lip was a little bit bigger than it was supposed to be. Okay, it didn't take me out of the movie or anything, but I noticed that right away. And then of course, when they were doing the race, the post-credit scene with the Flash and them we're doing a race. Excuse me, we're doing a in the Flash, and then we're gonna have a race to see who's the fastest. You could tell that was done with the mustache, and you can tell that he didn't have the that they did the the CGI, the mustache off his face. So again, so screw Paramount. Okay, they should have just really, they're just being dicks. Okay, you should have really just shaved the mustache. Okay, like I said, it really just irks me that they supposedly said they had a clause in this contract that he couldn't shave his mustache. You're full of crap with that. You could put on this is Hollywood. You could put on a fake mustache. Okay, that mustache is not critical to his character. Okay, that's just Paramount being dicks. Okay, being a dick. And if I was Warner Brothers, if I could screw them back over for that, I would. You're just being a dick. You should have let Henry Cavill shave his mustache off. Okay, so and then just he could always grow it back. Okay, or put a fake one on. Okay, this is Hollywood. So give me that crap. Paramount was just being dicks. Okay, but anyway, I did love that scene with the race. Okay, that was cool. A nod to the comic books and animated shows and stuff. That was a cool nod. And then, of course, the post-credit scene, the final one, with Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, and Deathstroke. Of course, we went to see, I think at Arkham Asylum, and they went to see if Lex was in the cell, and he wasn't. And obviously, he was on the French Riviera in a nice suit, and you see Deathstroke pull up in a boat. And then basically, Lex Luthor says, now that we have God back in the sky, and he's formed his own little team, I think we should form our own team. Which obviously means Legion of Doom, okay? I know there is Justice Society, and I forgot the other one, but it should be Legion of Doom. That's the most famous one as far as I'm concerned, okay? Kids grew up on that. Legion of Doom, that's what I grew up on, okay? Legion of Doom, not Injustice, okay? Justice Society or something like that. Call it the Legion of Doom. That, I hope they make that. That is going to be, that's the direction I assume they're going in now. They're going to make that when Justice League 2. Oh yeah, there was another good moment. And again, speaking of things I expected, there was I said in my expectation that hopefully they'll have the satellite, the Watchtower, or Hall of Justice. Obviously, they're going to have the Hall of Justice because Batman, you see Batman, Alfred, and Diana going to a big room, and they said, and Batman's talking about, we're going to have a room, have a big table, at least for six members, including all the members, including Superman. But Diana said, yeah, and maybe for more, of course, obviously. So when they do the sequel, I think they're going to bring in Shazam and Green Lantern, I think, too. Especially, I think those two characters are coming in definitely for the next movie, although I think they should recruit a woman as well. Okay, so it's not just Wonder Woman on the team. I think they definitely should recruit another a female hero, like maybe Black Canary or even a Hawk Girl. Okay, I think they definitely should bring another woman in. Okay, and then have them face off against the Legion of Doom. That I would love to see. And if they do that, let the movie be 2.5 hours. Let the movie be 250. Let the movie be 245. Let the movie be 3 hours. Okay, Warner Brothers, stop cutting your nose to spite your face. Okay, 2 hours. Okay, to me that's silly. Okay, that's being stupid. Putting that mandate out is stupid. Okay, I said it before and I'll say it again. Okay, that's stupid. Okay, this movie would have been easily a 9 for me. Okay, this movie would have been longer and flowed better. If the plot didn't feel rushed, it definitely would have been easy because the character interaction to me I loved in this movie, and I could tell they left a lot out. They cut a lot out. A lot of the stuff you see in the trailers and stuff you do not see in this movie. A lot of that stuff they cut out. And again, I blame the president of Warner Brothers, I think, who came up with that stupid edict. To me, that edict was stupid. Okay, you hurt the movie by doing that, and you can tell you hurt the flow of the movie. And I really, it really pissed me off that that he did that. Okay, I was at first when they said that one time, I said, okay, well, let's see. But you can tell they cut a lot out when you watch the movie. They cut a lot out, and I blame the president of Warner Bros. For coming up with that stupid edict. Okay, you got to spend all this money, commit to it, and let them release the movie as it was shot. Okay, it's stupid to me, and it's short-sighted. Okay, to do that. Okay, like I said, I'll give the movie an 8. Again, that's mostly because of the action scenes I like and the character interaction between the League members. I love that. Steppenwolf as a villain was okay, but again, taking away that dark side part of him, I think is stupid to me. It was stupid. I think that was stupid. Oh yeah, one of the other good parts that I really liked was when Steppenwolf first came and he was battling the Amazons. That whole sequence was epic and fantastic. I love the way that was shot. That was great. That was absolutely fantastic. I love that sequence. That was just kick-ass. And I did like the underwater sequence with you only got one scene with Mera in it. Okay, and I guess you'll see more of her in her own movie, but she had like a real brief cameo. She was okay, but that Amazon scene was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. That was one of the best scenes in the movie as well. Okay, but I love, again, the League coming together, fighting Steppenwolf at the end. I thought that was great the way they did it, and I liked, basically, Batman was going to sacrifice himself at the end as a distraction while the League took on Steppenwolf. But, of course, the League, they said, you know what, no. Wonder Woman, again, Batman was pushing Wonder Woman to be a leader, and she's the one, I think even Cyborg says, League even says to Batman that she didn't even give us a chance. She said, we got to save you. And so they basically came and saved Batman when I was trying to take down Steppenwolf. So I thought that was absolutely great. And I love, again, Superman got to interact with Cyborg, with the Flash. Well, we basically got to interact with all the members and stuff. And again, there was a nice moment between Bruce and Clark at the end where he comes on and returns the farm, because in the beginning, early in the movie, Martha loses the farm and she leaves. So basically, Bruce tells Clark that he bought the bank so they could have the house back. I thought that was great. That was great. So I did get, as far as my expectations is concerned, I got the interaction between Clark and Bruce, which I thought was nice. Got the interaction between Batman and Superman, which was good. And I got the interaction between the other members and Superman, which was good. I got that. And hopefully you'll see more of that in the sequel. And hopefully this movie will show, again, Henry Cavill, you could tell he was having so much fun playing Superman in this movie. I love, again, that fight with the League was absolutely fantastic. One of the best parts of the movie as well. Like I said, there's so many parts of this movie I liked. It's just that it felt too rushed to me. It felt like they cut out so many parts that could have made this movie epic. Again, I blame the president of Warner Brothers for that, because he's the one that had that stupid mandate, to me, as far as I'm concerned, to cut the movie down to 2 hours. I think that was stupid, okay? But I still enjoyed it, and again, I'm going to see it again. Okay, I'm going to probably see it 2 more times at least, okay, because I want to support the DCU. And again, there was moments that I liked this. I really liked these movies, and if this is Ben Affleck's final performance, I hope it isn't, because I really liked him in this role, and I hope that he does the solo Batman movies and also show up for Justice League 2. Hopefully he does. I know there's this rumor that Jake Gyllenhaal is going to take over in case Ben Affleck doesn't want to sign it. But I like you, man. So please, come back, please. I like your interactions with the various characters. So come back, please. Continue to play Batman. Not that I hate Jake Gyllenhaal. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. So if you had to replace Ben Affleck with anybody, I'll take Jake Gyllenhaal because he's a good actor, a really good actor. But anyway, that's my spoilers review of Justice League. I think this video has gone about 25 minutes. I think I covered most of everything that I want. My expectations, like I said, I want to see the interaction between Superman and various League members. We got something better than that. We got the fight between them, which is great. And then we got them teaming up at the end, which is good in the climax. So I love that. Got Bruce and Clark interaction, which is good. I like that. I got Diana and Bruce interaction. There was a lot of good heated back and forth between them. That interaction between Wonder Woman and Cyborg, which I really liked. Again, the the league member interaction, I really, really liked. That was one of the strongest parts of the movie. And hopefully, like I said, when they do Legion of Doom, hopefully we don't have to wait. Since 2017, hopefully we don't have to wait to 2020 to get. Hopefully, because I think they're going to film Wonder Woman next year, and I think it comes out 2019. I think, yeah, 2019. I think it comes out 2019. I'm hoping the sequel to this one comes out in 2019, which means they would have to start filming it probably next year, 2018. So I'm hoping we get the sequel pretty soon. Hopefully, I don't know when they're going to do it, but hopefully they get it. We get the sequel to this movie, and then this time, again, I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. Okay, but please, President of Warner Brothers, let the movie be longer than 2 hours. Okay, when you have these larger-than-life characters, you have to let them breathe in terms of what you let them do and let the story play out naturally. You can't let them film a longer movie and then hack it to death. Okay, it makes things rushed and it kills part of the enjoyment of the movie. Okay, so I know the president of Warner Bros. Is never going to look at this. All he cares about the bottom line, but trust me. Okay, that's the chief complaint I have about it, and I think that's the chief complaint a lot of people have about the plot feeling rushed because you hacked away at this movie again, like you did with the theatrical version of Batman v Superman. You have to let these movies flow. And again, I want to say, if this is the end of the trilogy for Zack Snyder for Superman, I'm okay with it. Okay, I just hopefully we'll get that director's cut of your movie, Zack, so we can see your true vision of this. And it's a shame that you won't be able to do. You probably more than likely won't be able to do Justice League 2. But hopefully, when they do that movie, they'll let the director, whoever that director is, have a movie that's at least 2 hours and a half, 240, 250, 3 hours. Okay, when you're dealing with these larger-than-life characters, give them the time and space to breathe and let the plot flow naturally. Okay, that's my only gripe with this movie. My primary gripe, that it felt too rushed. Okay, and I blame that on the president for coming up with this dumb mandate. So they had to basically take out a lot of parts of this to make it feel rushed. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think of Justice League. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. If you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram in the description box, as well as my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.